If Calzaghe can make it go the distance, here's what you get. 46 victories without a single loss.
Over the long stretch of the fight, if Calzaghe can make it go round.
A record-breaking 21 consecutive title defenses.
Turns it all around by hurting Calzaghe, and Calzaghe still giving him chances.
And a decade-long reign at the top. At the turn of the century, Joe Calzaghe ruled the super middleweight division with an iron fist. He made Roy Jones Jr. look awkward and uncomfortable in the ring.
Big shot.
And yet, despite being one of the most dominant champions in boxing history,
I don't know, maybe Calzaghe would have beaten Roy.
The general public is barely familiar with the fiery Welshman's journey.
Excellent punch by Jones. And maybe Jones is back.
It's time to relive the rise of the Italian Dragon, a musician's son from a small village who reached the pinnacle of pugilism and rode off into the sunset undefeated.
It just appears to me that Calzaghe's body attack is...
A street musician named Joe Calzaghe arrived in the British Isles from Italy in 1969. Traveling through cities, he stopped in Cardiff, the capital of Wales. There, he met a waitress in the first cafe he walked into and married her just 4 weeks later. Soon, they had their first child, Joe Calzaghe, who would one day bring global fame to the Calzaghe name. The family settled in Newbridge, a mining village with a population of just 6,000. At 9 years old, Joe joined a boxing club housed in a rundown building made of metal sheets. The harsh conditions didn't deter him. Instead, they sparked his love for boxing. Joe first trained under local coach Paul Williams and quickly stood out among his peers. He was a slender teenager but rarely went the distance in fights, usually stopping his opponents early. When Joe was 18, Williams retired, forcing Joe Calzaghe to take over as his son's coach. Joe gave up his own dream of a music career in the U.S. to stand in Joe's corner. The boxing community doubted Joe's credentials, but Joe refused to replace him. Together, they forged a father-son partnership that led Joe to 3 consecutive British amateur titles in different weight classes.
Begins to apply the pressure again.
His amateur record surpassed 100 wins.
Question remains, how great is he?
In 1993, at 21 years old, Joe Calzaghe turned professional in the super middleweight division. From his first fight,
And Calzaghe now is walking through them.
his speed and aggression overwhelmed opponents. His style was dynamic, going from 0 to 100 the moment the bell rang. He wasted no time gathering data. Instead, he imposed a relentless pace. His combinations were fast, his footwork precise, and his defense elusive. Joe's Italian roots, fierce boxing style,
Eased himself back and came bouncing off the ropes.
and Welsh heritage earned him the nickname the Italian Dragon. Joe racked up 14 straight victories, capturing the British super middleweight title in February 1996. His speed and
Again, the hand speed flurries by Calzaghe.
accuracy made him a nightmare for opponents. Fighters like Guy Stanford, Pat Lawler, Carlos Christie, and Tyler Hughes couldn't withstand his relentless pressure. Many were stopped inside the first round. Joe's father Enzo was compared to a conductor, orchestrating combinations like a symphony. By the end of his first 3.5 years as a pro, Calzaghe had 22 victories, all by knockout. In 1997, Joe got his shot at the WBO super middleweight title against the battle-hardened Chris Eubank, who had been undefeated for over 5 years and was famous for his timing and ring IQ. Eubank got under Calzaghe's skin during the build-up, but it only fueled Joe's focus. In the opening seconds, Joe dropped Eubank with a left hand. Despite Eubank's experience and resilience
In that fight, but you're right,
This is the worst cut I've ever seen him experience. They did not manage.
Calzaghe controlled most of the fight. It was a grueling battle, with both fighters trading heavy shots. After 12 rounds,
38 knockouts in 52 wins for
Calzaghe earned a unanimous decision victory and his first world title at just 25 years old. Joe defended his WBO belt twice before facing Robin Reed in 1999. Reed was a former WBC champion and Olympic bronze medalist. The fight was brutal. Calzaghe injured his left hand and was forced to rely on his jab and defense. Reed fought dirty at times, but Joe dug deep, adapted his game plan, and won a close decision. It was a testament to his toughness and ability to adjust under pressure. Over the next few years, Calzaghe took on all-comers: Omar Shika, Richie Woodhall, Mario Veit, and Will Mesentire, winning each fight with a mix of speed, accuracy, and sheer volume. However, recurring hand injuries forced him to throw fewer power punches. He compensated with faster combinations and smarter movement, extending his title defense streak to 11. In 2003, Joe faced former WBA champion Byron Mitchell. In round 2, Calzaghe went for the finish and got careless. Mitchell caught him with a right hand, knocking him down for the first time in his career. Joe was back on his feet instantly and responded by battering Mitchell into submission, forcing the referee to stop the fight. It was one of Calzaghe's most thrilling battles and proof of his fighting heart. By 2006, Calzaghe was 41-0, but critics still questioned his legitimacy due to a lack of American opposition. That changed when he fought the highly touted Jeff Lacey, an undefeated IBF champion, billed as a smaller Mike Tyson. Calzaghe entered as an underdog, but from the first round, he dominated Lacey, outboxing him with speed, angles, and combinations. Calzaghe landed over 300 punches, giving Lacey a one-sided beating. The fight cemented Joe's place as one of the best super middleweights in history. In 2007, Calzaghe faced Mikkel Kessler in a unification bout for the WBO, WBA, and WBC titles. Kessler, also undefeated, was younger and known for his power. In front of 50,000 fans in Cardiff, Calzaghe outworked and outboxed Kessler, throwing over 1,000 punches and securing a clear decision victory. He became the undisputed super middleweight champion, entering the pound-for-pound top 5 alongside legends like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. In 2008, Joe moved up to light heavyweight to fight Bernard Hopkins in Las Vegas. Hopkins dropped Calzaghe early in the fight.
Straight left hand.
But Joe recovered, increased the tempo, and controlled the rest of the bout. He threw over 200 more punches than Hopkins, earning a split decision win in one of his most grueling battles. Later that year, Calzaghe faced Roy Jones Jr. at Madison Square Garden. Jones dropped Joe early with a forearm punch.
With his hands down, showboating and carrying the round.
Watch his shoulder.
But Calzaghe adjusted and took over, outlanding Jones nearly 3-1. He put on a masterclass in movement, combinations, and showmanship, winning nearly every round. It was Calzaghe's final fight, and he walked away from boxing undefeated with a record of 46-0. Calzaghe retired as a reigning champion, one of the few boxers in history to do so. He defended his title 21 times, held the WBO belt for over a decade, and beat legends like Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. Despite never seeking mainstream fame, he earned his place among the greats. In 2014, he was inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Joe Calzaghe's career was built on speed, volume, toughness, and a refusal to back down. He fought with his heart on his sleeve and left the sport undefeated, a rare feat in boxing history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the career of the Italian Dragon, be sure to like the video, leave a comment with your favorite Calzaghe moment, and subscribe to Legends of the Octagon for more stories about the greatest fighters in combat sports. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.